that will actually make the bigger impact here in this first game, as there is not a strong traditional frontline for this area, but there's a lot of peel.
Potential level 3 ganks that we have seen some Xin Zhao's actually go for. Things like this does mean that you're not only pretty oppressive, but you're also very, very safe there towards the bottom side. So no real fumbles just yet, as the Prowling Projectile is going to go a little bit wide here. Carrier still trying to get his eye in onto that one. Great beat drop is going to come on through there as the heals come down, as Carrier's just dead. There is first blood over to Smash. He gets exhausted from the grave. Career learns is now alone.
So you stop that detach, or attach rather.
Grubs that are up and available as well. No one really taking a bite out of them just yet.
I mean, even though it's been perma, Prio was no flash.
Yeah, Emperor's Divide comes down. Now Ono looking to make his way in. There is a Shockwave to try and buy some space, but I mean, there is a Rumble there.
Yeah, and he's got TP, so he can just go straight back to the top lane after this back too, and should be able to catch this wave.
DK have no real idea of going for it.
Yeah, I mean, they just really can't. I think with the situation here for T1, the amount of damage they did in that initial salvo, Lucid taking so much means that they just can't contest, and if they try to, they might be setting up that Zeri moment you were discussing earlier.
Yeah.
Walking into that, even in this early game, Zeri's skirmish power is really powerful. Speaking of!
Yep, Zeri looking for the angle as the cleanse comes out. It flashes the arrow gorgeously, and the encore doesn't quite work out. Prowling Projectile is going to miss, though, and the flash out from Korea will keep him alive, but now it is clean up Xin Zhao time, and in he goes, picks up a swift double with the 3 Talon Strike. He had a Talon Strike left over after that one.
He was famous for it when he was on Genji on the pick, and he's certainly showcasing why here again, as Doran does not have flash.
He doesn't, and he also probably doesn't have his life either, as Xiu comes on over. That's a dissonance to complete the kill, and Ono not quite here in time.
The top side of the map. But this is the level 6 Zeri all-in angle that you see in a lot of matchups. Doesn't have it at level 6 in this case. The flash over the arrow. The encore isn't enough. Is Showmaker just going to die as well?
We getting that certification
I got my paper out. I got my paper out.
I'm a little bit worried about this one, is now Smash looking to try and get some arrows into Faker here. He's in a little bit of trouble. Lucid comes on over. There's a great Crescent Guard, but I think Faker is still in a lot of trouble. Lucid going to be the one to pick up the kill. Korea thankfully stopped auto-attacking to make sure that he doesn't take that one, but this is the big problem. Making TP, and Showmaker took a little while to get there as the arrow is going to connect. There's the flag and drag. Encore connects as well. That is all the CC, but Ona didn't get hit by any of it, so the Ashe is just dead. Korea down as well, and if you hadn't written it already, Wolf, I think it's time to write the certification note now. I've got my crayons ready.
It's signed. It's already been sent in. Kespa is notarizing it as we speak. I think this one is a Zeri game for the books, to be sure. One of the biggest pays ones so far of the year. And you asked me what the engage was. It turns out it's just Zeri kind of being near the enemy champion.
You're exactly right. Maybe Pays is just the engage. That's all right. There is an engage from Xiu as well, looking for an angle onto Doran. He is just dancing on the equalizer, though, as the Flame Spitter comes on down as well. Flash out there from Doran, and the flash from Xiu is not going to work. It's a solo kill, as now Showmaker looking to try and come on through here. The arrow is not going to quite connect, as there is still a Shockwave here. Showmaker still trying to find it. Another flag and drag comes down, but the final chapter is still there. Ulti from Pays. And look at this. It's basically 1 versus 3, because it's a cat. It's kind of half a champion, but still they're standing their ground.
I mean, this is absolutely crazy here. He does not care. Showmaker eventually gets the kill onto Doran there on the top side without using his flash, without using his shockwave. So that's the only piece of good news here for Dplus. But it's Herald just going to drop down here and take this mid turret out at 18 minutes. T1 swimming in gold, and all of it on their major carry here in Pays. A second charge with this draft, this setup. Oh man, this is Doran. He has his Haunting Geist, which is actually insanely high value in extended fights like this. And the Equalizer did so much work. Then this flash, he gets the slow, and that's the end of it.
Yeah, it was a flash harpoon as well. That was so sick.
As soon as he flashed and hits the harpoon as a slow, that's when he calls, I got him, I got him, I got him. Or he just TP'd to the top lane. Showmaker's probably not too happy about that either. As another turret goes down. And I was going to say before we got into that replay, like I kind of thought we were going to see this really hype game where Hayes has to make all these 100 zeros in with the Yuumi on his back and takes no damage because he's got a huge shield as well.
And Owner is just chasing Lucid out of his own jungle here. You can see Showmaker now getting closed in on his Pays. He really wants to kill an Orianna, and he might just be able to do so as Owner with the Crescent Guard does come on down, but Korea is there. Arrow is going to hit his own teammate, but there's the knock-up onto Owner. He's put inside the little pen here. That's very cute. Great encore, but the cleanse is there for Pays, who's just going to end Smash before he could do anything. Oh, God, it's one of these games, isn't it? As finally, the Zeri will go down, but not before picking up 3, 2 of which he grabs the kill credit for, and DK just reeling after that. It's almost a 5,000 gold lead.
Get pressed on Pays, and there's a flag on him. Maybe you kill this guy.
Well, looking for an arrow onto Faker. They will be able to find it. Shockwave is there for Showmaker, and he does press that button. Cataclysm comes down, but it doesn't stop Faker from getting out. His flash does come on through. There's the flash over the wall, and there is the Jarvan picking up the kill. The rest of T1 looking to come on in here, though, as the teleport from Doran does get him up, but the teleport out from Showmaker will allow him to escape, as now Pays and Carrier looking for the angle. Extendo beam, not quite going to find Lucid, but I think this Jarvan is still going to die.
He's got exhaust.
Turret here. Shiu does stand beside him, but Owner's going to be able to finish that one off. And now Shiu might be in a little bit of strife as well. Prowling projectile doesn't quite work, as now the Crescent Guard. Owner is going to be taken down, but immediately dead. This Pays guy just doing so much damage, as Shiu really wants to find it. There's the Q to finish him off, and now Doran comes in. He's got the damage. Showmaker now gets missed by the harpoon, though, and so now Doran could be in a little bit of trouble. Carrier trying to make sure that he's as scary as Pays, but it looks a little different here, as Doran is going to get taken out. DK finally finding an angle in this game.
Yeah, that was definitely a moment where Showmaker was like, "Shiu, careful how close you pull back that rumble towards me."
It's more difficult for Pays to kill him, at least, as we got another fight going on here, as at least DK are able to take a dragon. Let's see whether they can actually keep themselves alive, though, because Pays has a kitty cat, and he's not afraid to use it. Korea now completely separated from the rest of his team, does find an encore onto Faker, but now Pays wants to skate his way in, and just an extendo beam is going to be enough to take down this Seraphine. So a little bit unfortunate positioning there for Korea, and is just going to fall. And now with one dead, did T1 just do Baron?
I think it's a little bit tricky here to try to pull that off without a little bit more setup. Like, they don't have a ton of vision here in the Banana Brush. They're going to maybe try to set that up now. Baylight hanging out, and then... Or just go straight to it, I suppose.
I guess
it is T1, you know? Yeah. They have great turn here, right? When they do have Emperor's Divide, so there's that.
Well, Shiu's not going to be too worried about that one. Is now looking for an angle towards Owner as they go for the turn. There's a Shockwave, but it's only onto the Xin Zhao. Is now Lucid in a lot of trouble. Shiu dived forward, is now Pays possibly separated, or never mind, just in range to kill everyone. Owner somehow lives, and that is just 2 freebies here, as DK are just going to have to sacrifice the Baron now.
Pays is making a statement about his gameplay. I think he's making a statement about the state of AD carries in this meta. And with a Yuumi on his back, he just says, well, if you guys want to come to Baron, so be it.
Yeah. Oh, man. Out of hand. He's going to take down this turret very comfortably. 4 items now completed. His mortal reminder is done, as now Faker could be in a little bit of trouble.
Is it a trick question?
I just never know them.
Is it a trick question, maybe?
Well, Arrow is going to connect onto Faker once again.
Kill the other one.
Does find a little bit of an angle. Can go all out here as well as they pull Faker back. But he goes golden, and now Pays has made his way in. Empress Divide hits the air as Faker is going to get taken down by the volley. And now Pays is slowed up. Takes a lot of damage there at the same time as Lucid looking to keep himself alive. Korea almost dies as now Pays puts down the ulti. Doran gets in there with a flamethrower, but diving this turret is a little bit dangerous. Did Pays take damage before us? Never mind. The arrows do come on through, and Lucid gets through the base gate, and now without Pays, T1 should not be able to keep pushing forward. T1 looking for Soul Point.
For Infernal Soul with his composition.
Yep, and there's a teleport so Faker can get all of his health bar back and make his way back down again. Finally, the IE is done here for Smash, but man, I mean, if they had have got that kill, then it could have been 2 Drakes apiece. The engage, and then that's the engage, you know?
Yeah, I suppose that's how it's going to work when you have this much map control as T1. As Pays is engaged.
They look for it. There's the Shockwave. They're going to try and blow him up as he pops down the ulti, and Lucid just doesn't have it. Finally, Pays is going to go down, and Lucid will survive. Now, Shiu not dancing on the equalizer this time, but not going to hit the Q either, as he's looking to try and take down Doran, putting that Iceborne Gauntlet to good use, and there it is. Solo Bolo in the bottom lane.
Faker.
And the Shiu Zante's coming up big.
Now, Faker is playing a bit aggressively down here towards this inner and everyone, but now you're actually killable, so you got to be careful.
Owner is just going to lose his GA. and his life.
Starting to wonder if T1 are ahead in this.
Wait, is he going to taxi out using Korea? As the volley going to slow him down, so he is going to survive, so just loses the GA.
Until the end of the fight.
Unless someone just overextends. Never mind, Faker is hit by an arrow once again. And will be able to escape, never you mind. Xiu now looking for the angle though, as Paze just dashes out of the way. Doran coming on forward, and is this the DK's engage is our engage type engage?
The
Seraphine
T1 also has the Diadem completed and Moonstone Renewer, and I mean, Smash is ready to fight. He's ready to almost go toe-to-toe with Paze if they have the setup, if they have the CC.
Oh, they are still looking for it here. The equalizer is fantastic. Xiu able to soak it though as he goes all out looking for the angle. There is the golden flamethrower as Doran will try to help take down Xiu, and they will be able to do it. And now Paze finds his angle. Immediate double kill as he gets revenge on the bottom lane, and Showmaker is one dash away from dead. The little zaps onto the minions not going to be quite enough there though, so at least the Orianna can pirouette her way out of there, but I think they're going to be pirouetting their way out of this game as T1, they find the angle, and they will take down Dplus here in game one.
Dplus get a little bit impatient there, and the equalizer from Doran gives them enough space, and that is the end of it.
Yep. T1 with a composition that I was a little bit curious about.
These were some of the best highlights from today's matchup. Which moment was your favorite? Let me know in the comment section below. This is OP, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.